What's up, guys, and welcome to One Realm. I'm here with Thomas,
Hey guys.
and this episode is going to be all about Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 slash just regular Mortal Kombat 3. Really, it's the same talking points, so we're just going to put them all into one single video, and it's going to be an interesting one because Mortal Kombat 3, of course, it's a great game in some ways, but in other ways it was a huge fuck up, at least when it comes to regular Mortal Kombat 3. I think like the biggest, we were just talking about this, like the biggest what the fuck thing about the game was literally the roster when MK3 came out. Like, as we were mentioning, there were no ninjas, basically, except for Sub-Zero, who was unmasked. So it was really, really confusing. I think, like, somebody like TMK, who has mentioned this quite a few times, the first time he played Mortal Kombat 3, he wanted to play as Scorpion because that was his favorite character. He looked at the roster, and the only possibly Scorpion character on there was Cyrax, because he was yellow. And that seemed like to be a pretty common reaction for everybody who were obviously complaining about the fact that there was absolutely no ninjas in the game that they wanted to play as. And, of course, they had to change that with Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. But Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, like I said, it was hit and miss. And I'm going to go ahead and say probably my favorite character that they introduced from the game is probably... Actually, no, I don't know. Probably Sector, to be honest with you. I think it's Sector. Who would you pick if you had to pick one?
Yeah, you already know me. Well, I'll be with my norm with either the color blue or Guineans, because I went ahead and say, okay, well, they're gonna be either Jay or Sindel at this point, since I already said Sub-Zero and Katana. No, I'm gonna come back to look on the roster right now. I'll try and get to the roster. Looking at it, I have to say. Mm, Smoke.
Okay.
Mm.
Yeah, it was definitely a good one.
That's without going with my norm with Indiana. So
Indian slash blue, yes.
yeah.
And just in case
So
people are wondering, let me go ahead and read off the character list real fast. There was Cyrax, Liu Kang, Cabal, Kano, Kung Lao, Striker, Jax, Nightwolf, Sector, Shang Tsung, Shiva, Sindel, Smoke, Sonya, Sub-Zero, Scorpion, Ermac. For some reason, they don't have them all listed here. I'm looking at the actual Wikipedia, and it's not all here, but there's also Motaro and Shao Kahn. Of course, these are all the
you
characters
should
that
have just
are...
went. You
Yeah,
should have just went to Morphin Online.
yeah, you're right, but regardless, oh yeah, right here, Katana, Jade, Reptile, Scorpion, Melina, Ermac, and Sub-Zero. These are all, and Classic Sub-Zero, of course. These are all the characters that were in the game, so it was a very, very good roster once they actually put out the Ultimate version. The original MK3 was definitely not anywhere near as good, and I'll go ahead and tell you, I have it right here as
Before
well.
we get too much, I need you to pick a character for me.
Oh, you mean to play? Let's see, let me take a look.
Yeah, I'm doing the tower
Um,
again, so I need you to pick a character fast, because otherwise it picks it for me, and I have no say.
I'll say no, Cabal, because they just talked about him recently on the... Actually, you know what?
Cabal.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say Jade
Alright.
because I know you like Adenians, and I'll go ahead and let you pick somebody that you'll probably like. So go with Jade.
I've actually never have played with Jay before, so
Oh,
let's see
okay.
how
Well, then
this
it'll be
goes.
a new experience live on the show.
Oh, that's why I like to say no. Let someone else pick my character. Otherwise, oh, it's Jay versus Jay. This is gonna be fun.
Mirror match all the way, which could be, as we mentioned, connected to the Dream Lady or Chronica. Now,
That was
as I was saying, the characters in the original launch for MK3 were Cyrax, Cabal, Nightwolf, Sector, Sindel, Shiva, Striker, Jax, Kano, Kung Lao, Liu Kang, Sonya, Sub-Zero, Shang Tsung, Smoke, and of course the boss characters were Motaro and Shao Kahn. So as you can see, there was a huge lack of
Shao
the
Kahn, Mataro, and Jade.
yes. No, I said them.
Because no, I was saying like yeah, they were the boss characters, but you also got Jade because that is a bitch to be.
Oh, okay, yeah, she's an absolute torture goddess. Yeah, she just destroys
Well,
everybody
let's
that's
keep
in
in
front of her.
mind we didn't talk about it in the J review, but she gets to she used to get like all projectiles go through her,
Mm-hmm.
and then she's fast as shit too. This remote's killing me.
Yeah, I was thinking
But
the other
she's
day,
fast
like,
as shit too.
is she the first character in the Mortal Kombat series to have a like an armor type thing to where in the newer games, sometimes the bosses, if you hit them from a certain angle and stuff like that, you do damage. Otherwise, that they just kind of take the damage and keep on punching. She was one of the. I think she was probably the first one to have that in the series, wasn't she?
Not including, yeah, I guess not including the bosses like Motaro. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean yeah, I guess Motaro too. Yeah, you're right about Motaro. I didn't think about him, but yeah, in terms of regular like playable characters, she was definitely the first one to have something like that kind of mechanic. So she was. Yeah, let's go ahead and talk about. I guess we can talk about the gameplay real fast, because since you brought up Jade, I mean, there is no more difficult character in the game for me to fight than Jade. Even Shao Kahn or even Motaro, I can pretty much beat them every single time. But Jade, she was just built to just fuck with you. I honestly believe that she was built to be the hardest character in the game. Like, the fact that she, like you said, she can run through projectiles, and she has her grabs, she has all that stuff. She was just as overpowered as it could possibly get for a regular AI character. I still have nightmares. Like, anytime I play MK3, or I even kind of think about MK3, the first thing that pops in my mind is literally me having to get my ass beat by Jade 5 or 6 times before I can beat her, and then move forward. I mean, it's just, I don't know how it's going over there for you right now, but it's always a nightmare playing with her.
Yeah, I can see that because, well, like that's the equivalent of playing Motaro as well. Because you start getting your momentum, then you're like, all right, well, if you don't know combos, you just spam the fuck out of. Um, oh shit! I did Fatality on the second try.
Damn, is that your
These,
first ever MK3 fatality ever?
no,
Okay,
I've done it before, but
that's right.
even then, to still pull it off is still cool.
Did you look it up
But
or
no,
something?
they have a move list on the 360 when you do the arcade version.
Oh yeah, I didn't remember that. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I
Well,
mean, it took me last time I played this, which was about a month ago, too. Was the first time I actually found the run button.
yeah, I guess we can kind of segue you because you mentioned the run button. That's something I want to talk about. I have it on the list here. Is that of course this was the first game to introduce running in Mortal Kombat, and it was something that really changed the gameplay. Of course, it made it a lot faster, and it was a huge part of being able to kind of corner your opponent and really land a lot of combos. Like, a lot of it was kind of mixed in with the run button. And me personally, I was never really ever able to master it. I've never once become good at it, whether it's MKX or MK3. I have never been good at it. Like, it's just one of those mechanics that for some reason I can't really get a hang of, and it's really important in this game. It is really really important.
Yeah. And that's one thing actually trying to incorporate real quick. Because I'm not gonna lie, in MK9, well, not 9X, I ain't use it at all.
Yeah,
But,
I for a while there I actually forgot it was even in, because when I stopped playing it, I I just never really thought about the run button because it was never really a part of my game plan. Because number one, it's difficult to use unless you're really practice at it, and number two, it's just not something. It's not really my way of getting in and out. Usually, when I want to get in towards my opponent, I just jump in. I'm pretty predictable when it comes to that. I'm sure you noticed when we play. I'm pretty predictable. I always jump in, either fly kick or try to land a punch and then hit in a small combo. But running is definitely something that if you use it correctly, it can be very OP, both in MKX and, of course, MK3.
I think 4 and Gold had it too. I'm not sure. No, they had a stamina bar, at least.
Yeah, I've still never played MK4, so when that's I know that's kind of blasphemous because it's still a Mortal Kombat game that's in the main series, but I've never been able to find it, and I'm not gonna download like a Mugen or something like that, even though I probably should because they're pretty good. But I'm about to really download the unofficial kind of version kind of
Well,
guy.
also, well, like at the same time, I get it, but over here in the U.S., I know people talking more about MK3, but even then, you can find a lot of these arcade stands at bowling alley, skate ring. When I was about a few years ago, I was at a flea market and a little cafeteria. They had MK4 there for you to play.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah, you don't see much of that here. Like, arcades in general here aren't exactly They aren't huge. Like, of course, they aren't huge anywhere at this point, but they aren't really something that you see that often in the arcade. They pretty much all have the same type of things. They, just your
Well, not even
typical games.
just not like arcade places, like just the machine itself. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, just in random
Yes.
places. Yeah. It's just
Yeah. Hell, I seen one at the movie theater for MK4. I got buzzed victory just now.
this is probably the very best you've ever played in Mortal Kombat 3, and it's literally on the podcast. So
Well, well, here's the thing. Too. I have done good on 3. But 2 is the only one I can't do. I've beaten 1 before. I did 1. I've never beaten 2. And 3, I make it all the way to Shao Kahn and then just give up. Okay, so we're going to try to do animality. Let's see if I can work 4 down 440.
well, I mean, if you want an easy win against Shao Kahn in Mortal Kombat 2, all you have to do is, well, if you're able to get to Shao Kahn, of course, you can just pick Baraka and do his chop
I just
chop.
quit.
Yeah. You can just sit in the corner,
Well,
crouch, and do chop chop.
that's what I just realized. Baraka was not in this one.
Yep, that's another. I mean, that's weird, right? Because he was introduced in Mortal Kombat 2, and he was an interesting looking character, of course, and I think he was pretty. I thought he was pretty fun to play in MK2. So I mean, it's interesting that they left him out, but at the same time, they left out so many characters here, at least from the original release, and then for him to not come back in Ultimate 2, it was just kind of weird. But
If I was in trilogies,
well, yeah, but that's because all the characters are there in Trilogy. But I mean,
yeah, but well, the funny thing is, he's not the only person like get left out. Like I told you to take a guess who it was, and I want you to get one more chance to take a guess at who was missing from that roster.
from Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, you mean?
Yes.
Man, I'm trying to think, but shit.
Oh, I'm already endurance now.
Man, I honestly couldn't. I can't even think about it.
If I tell you, it's not gonna be a surprise anymore. I'm gonna be honest. You want to be
Is it Raiden?
surprised? Oh, that too, but not only think of him.
Okay. Well, go ahead. Just go ahead.
Rain.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. You're right.
Well, here's the thing too. One problem with Rain is that he was asked some little package before they show him off, and now it's like, all right, so I'm gonna play with Rain. No, we make a character for you to see, and you can't even play as him.
That's right.
You can't even fight him.
Yeah. I was thinking of who it could be, but I didn't even consider Rain because I remember him not being in there, but I just didn't even think about him. Yeah, it was just.
Well, they expect you to know, but still at the same time, like, Rain had been getting the shaft since MK3 when he was first debuted.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
They throw him in Trilogy, but he was not really in Trilogy because everyone's in there.
Yeah, Trilogy has the Armageddon thing where if you aren't in there, then you're basically not even canon at this point.
And guess what the next team who's going to be in, though?
Which one?
The very next team he's in is Armageddon.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because he
So
never
unless
made an
they-
appearance. He didn't even make an appearance, right? Like not even like a cameo in like one of the conquest modes.
He did. Well, everyone made like an appearance in MK Deception's Conquest mode. You just had to go find them.
He was in Adenia, right?
But-
Where was he?
Outworld.
Outworlds.
And Jay's fucking with him.
Yeah, I don't remember that very clearly. I do kind of recall him being there because I remember that just about everybody was in it, so it makes sense. But
Yeah.
but
I mean, Reiko's in there, so everyone's
yeah,
in there.
exactly. Yeah. I remember Reiko pretty clear. It's like, oh, Reiko. Yeah.
Well, the thing was, too, is with Rain is like, you gotta wonder if they really hate these characters sometimes.
Well, I most certainly know that they
Because-
do.
Well, like, so even within Deception's Conquest mode, you're helping Jay get a sneak attack on Rain. And he's actually trusts you and shit.
Yeah, so even when he does show up, he's getting shafted regardless, basically.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, Rain's an interesting one. Hopefully, I mean, like we mentioned last night, and we were recording the Combat Cast episode. Like you've seen the leak. I've purposely avoided it, so I don't know if he's in or not, but I wouldn't be surprised if he's not. But yeah, getting back to the run button, like, what do you think of the run button? I personally don't like it that much, and I'm hoping that it's not in MK11. But
It's not
yeah, it's all
MK11,
about dashing
but
and that, so that's good.
yeah.
So
I don't hate it. It's something that you have to remember to get used to. And MK3, I think you did well because the combos were simpler, and wish I knew how to throw, honestly. But the combos are simpler anyway, so it works out. But it's just like a run across the screen, and do a combo real quick. Even if it's a small one, it covers the distance. I like it, but since I'm not used to using it, and well, every other game, it just like doesn't roll off the tongue to use it.
hmm yeah, that's pretty much my thing too. Is I prefer dashing just because it's been in dashing's always been in Mortal Kombat for the most part, and the run button was only in two at most three games. I don't recall. Like I said, I don't remember much about MK4 because I've never played, and I don't remember too much about the gameplay and stuff like that in terms of what I've actually seen of it because it's just not that visually fun to watch. But I mean, the run button, like I said, like I'm not a fan of it. I prefer dashing just because that's very Mortal Kombat, but at the same time, if it's done right, like in MK3, then I guess it's not too bad because the biggest issue I think with MKX was that there was also a stamina bar, so you could get extremely tired, or you couldn't really necessarily run as much as you want and explode on those combos and stuff like that. So it kind of became a pain in the ass, and I don't know. I think that you have to have one and not have the other, and I believe that the stamina bar is just trash, 100% trash. Like just get rid of that completely. But the run thing, I guess,
MKX or
yeah, MKX. Like
mm,
get rid of that. That should never come back. But the run, it could, I guess, as a alternative mechanic or something like that. But as a main mechanic, I'd rather not.
well, the whole point is stamina bar, so you can't be overpowered running.
Yeah, I know that, but I don't know. It's just I didn't like it too much. But like I said, I never really used it anyway, so it was never
Hey,
really
compared
effective.
to how it used to be, the stamina bar was better. And I say that because um, you take the fact that you can't when you run in there, you run on the step with an MKX, you still use your superpowers. In the past games, you ran. It was also connected to your specials as well. So if I use your specials, and I know for sure at MK4, use your specials, you also take down your stamina as well.
Yeah, so they kind of depowered you quite a bit in every way possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of limited you to a lot of things you could do.
But
Yeah. Well, I mean, one
I'm not
thing you
sure what the
can say,
specials
like,
because I'm not using specials as much.
mhm.
But
Well, like I was
obviously, I'm not sure
saying,
about the specials on MK3 because I'm not using them.
yeah. Well, I mean, the MK3 is one of those games where, for me personally, like I prefer to do combos over specials, which is something that isn't usually the case for me because I'm usually pretty garbage. Like to be honest with you, like when it comes to combos, I'm just not good at memorizing them. Whereas with special moves, of course, it's very easy, and then you can kind of chain together a special move to a short combo. But in MK3, when I was playing it regularly, where on the arcade collection on the 360 or even when it was just a single game on the 362, I actually got pretty decent at combos. Nothing like crazy, no huge combos, but 15 hit combos and stuff like that. I could kind of do them somewhat regularly, and it was just one of those things where it kind of felt like playing with combos was a bit easier. Whereas with special moves, it was because I don't know, it just didn't really feel as powerful. At least not to me. I don't know about you, but that was just kind of my thoughts about it.
I'm not using the full combos they have laid out for me either. I'm just using the run and then the 4 double X.
Hmm. Yeah, well,
But
of course
even then,
you're not
so
really familiar with Jade anyway. You don't like you said earlier. You've never really played her, right? In MK3.
mm-hmm. I mean, I think in all games I never really played her. I think the most I did was in Deception. And that game, I hate to say it, but it was combos, but it's also like who can get lucky the most. We can get on that later.
Yeah, we'll talk about that on the deception episode. But yeah, I mean, I guess when it comes to other features of gameplay in Ultimate MK3, there's a couple I want to talk about, and I'll go ahead and talk about the shorter one first, which is the stage transitions. Like, there were certain arenas. Was it only one, or were there multiple? I can only think of
It
one.
looks like about three,
Three, maybe?
maybe.
Okay.
No, two. No, two for sure.
Yeah, because the one, of course,
No, you can go from hell to Shao Kahn's throne room.
that's the one I'm thinking of, yes.
You can go from, I think it's sanctuary, and go to the roof of it. I feel like you can go from the street. You can go from below the street. Oh, you can go from the Soul Tomb, I think, to the Motaro layer.
Okay. Yeah, so those were interesting. Like, I liked that quite a bit. It was just an interesting little thing that I didn't expect, and then when the first time you see it, you're like, oh shit. So it's really interesting, I think, and it's not a huge mechanic, but it is something that we've seen implemented in, of course, Deception, Armageddon. I think they had it too, and of course we saw it in Injustice as well. So, it's something that not in every game, but every so often we see it. So. It's a mechanic that I like. It's not anything special or crazy or that really affects things in a big way, but it's just visually pretty pleasing.
Yeah.
And I guess we can go ahead and talk about the various
Well, the
alities.
story. Oh,
Yeah, they wouldn't just to end
that too.
just to end the gameplay. Yeah, I guess we can talk about the various alities, like of course
Mm-hmm.
animalities, babalities, friendships. Regular fatalities, mercy, all that stuff was in here. I think that I guess we can say our favorite type of ality, not oh yeah, brutalities as well. Forgot to mention that. The birth of brutalities was in MK3. I guess what we can do, yeah, and animalities. What we can do is we can give our favorite type of ality, not counting fatality. That's kind of played out.
Cheesy.
Our favorite type of alternative ality and our least favorite type. Let's go ahead and start off with our favorites. My favorite, I think, is it might be. I would say animality as a concept, but it's just really stupid. So I'm gonna go ahead and say babality, which isn't even stupider. But I don't know. I thought the idea of turning them into babies was pretty fucking funny. Or was babality?
I
Wait,
like.
hold on. Babalities was in MK2 or MK3?
I think you can do it in 3 too.
Right? I'm pretty sure you can. Hold on, let me check. But you go ahead and give
I
up
mean, it
yours.
says on this list. It looks like you can on this list, but I don't know for sure.
Yeah, I'm
But
gonna look it up. And then
my favorite ality, I guess, not killing fatality. That was actually cool too, but what? I don't know.
Yeah, I just checked, and my memory did not fuck me this time. There were babalities in MK3. And,
Well, look it up on YouTube. Just because it's on the list doesn't mean.
yeah,
for sure.
I just saw clips of it too. Sindels and Strikers and all
Okay.
that stuff. So I remember. Yeah, I remembered correctly.
That's right.
Yeah.
Damn it! I threw one, but it's like I threw the glaive at Mutaro and bounced right back off.
That sucks.
Damn. Okay, if I'm gonna do this shit, I need to go in this. I need to use the shield.
Yeah, so I think that my favorite is definitely babalities, just because it was completely random. It felt like animalities, like Liu Kang, he has the inner dragon, and transformations like that just are kind of. It feels like it's possible in Mortal Kombat, and Liu Kang already had a dragon fatality and stuff, so it kind of made sense. But like babalities, it was like what the hell, and it was just hilarious to see. And every time you do it on somebody, especially like when somebody doesn't really know a lot about Mortal Kombat and you hit them with a babality, it's always kind of just hilarious to see the reaction. And it's one of those things that kind of never really gets boring.
Yeah. I agree with you there. Then, well, brutalities are kind of cool to watch, minus the 50 rib cages you have, and then the 10 feet you have.
Yeah, definitely cool, but weird.
but at the same time, I like. Well, no, like I dislike animalities more because they were for some of them it fitted them, but some people it was like completely stupid. Dick. But no, for example, Sheila turned into a scorpion, and Scorpion turned into a penguin.
Yeah, I've always kind of asked myself, like, was that just like them being stupid, like them not thinking that maybe a scorpion should turn to a scorpion, or was it just them basically trolling us? I don't. I'm sure they've probably been asked that question. I don't know if they ever talked about it. Not that I can recall, but
Yeah.
it makes zero
Well,
sense. It makes zero sense.
not even that though, because think of it like this. I gotta see what might have happened. I think because it was in the original MK3, I believe, and Scorpion wasn't in there. I think they already gave it to Sheila at that point.
Ah, okay. Yeah, that I guess that kind of makes
Explains
sense.
that.
Yeah, but they could have done something different, like maybe I don't know, give her some other insect that has a bunch of legs or arms. You know what I mean? It's like, of all things, why would you do a scorpion when you already have a character who's literally named Scorpion? I mean,
Well,
but
at that point they didn't.
yeah, but he was still already in the series. You know what I mean? Like maybe I don't know. I don't know.
No one there thought that they were going to have to redo the whole game because of this.
Yeah,
Okay,
I guess that's a fair
let's be
point, but
honest.
yeah,
Stupid because they took him out, but it's like no one thought that. Hey, we're gonna do this. We fucked up so bad that we're gonna have to remake this whole roster. Okay.
yeah, and I think that kind of just that was probably the moment that they really realized that Scorpion is the face of the series. Like in terms of the most popular, he is 100% the most popular. I think that's kind of the moment that they realized it. And moving forward, as you can see, Scorpion doesn't miss a game, and he's he's the logo now. So that's probably the start of it.
Mm.
And I guess from that we can kind of move on to the story, which is your bread and butter,
Well,
of
yeah.
course. So I mean,
Yeah. Before
take
I
it
do
away, buddy.
that, do you have any advice on how to beat Shao Kahn on three?
Um, Using Jade, I honestly don't really have any advice on that.
So you pick a character that you don't know how to use
Yeah, because
to
I
beat
don't,
this.
I hated her so much in MK3 because of the amount of beatings that she put on me. I guess maybe like you could what I think a lot of people do is they just kind of sit in the corner. That's what I did a lot with a lot of characters that I wasn't good at as well is just get in the corner, like immediately get in the corner, crouch down, and then land uppercuts as soon as he hits a move that you block.
I love
That should
how
work.
even I love how even when you block his like energy blast, that it still just like throws you back still.
Mm. Well, yeah.
And
Unfortunately,
it's
there's some moves that you can't do much about.
mm.
Yeah, with
But
Shao
no, the
Kahn.
score.
Sorry, just to tell you real fast, like with
Yeah,
Shao Kahn, like it's kind of a guessing game. Like if you can get yourself in the corner, eventually you will beat him. Just get yourself in the corner with your back to the wall, and then
a
uppercut
lot
the
of
shit out of
ducking
him.
too. I realize
A lot of what?
you gotta duck a lot,
Yeah.
unless she's doing the shoulder run. If you're doing the shoulder run, then you're fucked. If he throws the energy blast or do the raising knee, then you might be good.
Yes. You have it. Just it's kind of just random. It just depends on what the game decides to do. Yeah. I guess you can take us away when it comes to the story because that's your bread and butter.
No, pretty much the story goes that, and that's thing one thing I will appreciate is that you can tell what like they preemptively did these. So first they talk about Katana's mother. They show a picture of Katana's mother in MK2 just to show it, and then it actually plays a prominent role. And that's the only issue with this game. You never know what endings are canon until it's after it's all done, and after the next game comes along. But Oh shit, Max, we shot on for once. No, no, that's not happening. That's depressing. Um, but no, so we can't. I'm not sure. No, we don't end the stories. We just tell what happened so far. We don't tell the story into the next game. But Luke Kang beat Shao Kahn on his home turf, and Shao Kahn's pissed. So they have the bright idea to have somebody resurrect Sindel and Outrealm so he can. Because apparently. Oh, I got sneezed.
Bless you.
Shit. Thanks. But, if you. So I found this out recently. If Neil was resurrected in Earthrealm, he has the right to go over there and grab her. Cause it can be like, oh, they kidnapped my wife, so I gotta go there. That's how his whole invasion came about. No, we're not gonna compare to MK9 yet because that's gonna be for the future still. But he takes Sindel and resurrects her there, and do a full scale invasion on Earth. And then some people die, some people return to help. And that's the premise just of MK3. Well, I'll get into the individual stories.
Yeah, I mean MK3.
Yeah.
It was kind of one. I would say it's like one of the more interesting stories in terms of like this is kind of where it changed from being a tournament-based game to being a pretty much anything goes. You know what I mean? Like MK1, it was a tournament. MK2,
Survival.
it was a tournament. Yeah, MK3 was an invasion. Deadly Alliance was Shao Kahn. Shang Tsung and Quan Chi.
And Quan Chi's invasion.
Invading,
well,
trying to.
You're right.
Yeah, trying to resurrect the army of the Dragon King. MK Deception is, trying to stop Onaga. MK Armageddon is trying to, get the blaze.
Save the world.
Yeah. So,
I beat Shao Kahn for once.
round of applause there for T-Tip.
But that's just one round. It's the rubber match now.
Well,
with the sad part, this is uneasy.
Well, it's never been an easy game.
He just shoulder tackles you beat him, he just shoulder tackles the fuck out of you, like repeatedly. That was his one move he used the entire game just now.
Yeah, and he finished you. He beat you.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it eventually gets easier.
In seconds. No, it doesn't.
Maybe like mentally. Maybe eventually you're gonna.
No, it fucks with you for a while.
I don't know. I got pretty decent at beating Shao Kahn at least. Like Jade gave me a lot more problems than Shao Kahn. If I do it now I'll probably get my ass beat for 20 to 30 matches straight without even winning a round. But yeah, sorry man. What the hell were we talking about before you got beat by Shao Kahn?
Story.
Yeah.
We're saying like how the last and 3 was
that's right.
a full scale invasion.
Yeah, so this was like the first game in which they went away from the tournament format to basically anything goes. So it was kind of a changing in what Mortal Kombat was. So in some ways it's cool. Like in some ways it's better, in other ways it's not quite as good because the tournament I love tournament. I think everybody pretty much loves tournaments. Like the whole idea of brackets and stuff like that. That's why March Madness is.
Welcome to that tournament.
Yeah, and originally it was, and then it just kind of expanded into something else. Yeah, so it's no longer.
It's 1% against the world.
Yeah, essentially yes. So I mean, this was the first game in which that changed, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, But I mean,
one thing I will say, but like this. I was saying that there's a bunch of like mini stories going on. I think that's what we're going to do at some point too, because I think one day we're going to talk about like the best rivalries. I'm going to have to like debate, and we can do canon rivalries or what could be a really good rivalry. And what I mean by that is, so you have Sub-Zero and Smoke against Sector and Cyrax. And that's a good story in its own right.
Yeah, there's plenty of legendary rivalries and stuff like that, and we'll definitely cover that in a podcast sometime down the line. And as you mentioned, with like MK3, there's so many subplots going on, and that's, I think, one of the beautiful things about MK when it's done right is that it's not just about the main plot, but there's so many things going on in the background, between specific characters or specific realms, even Chaos Realm and can't think of the damn name. Otaru's realm, the Order realm, and so
Order.
yeah, so there's plenty of rivalries and interesting stuff going on in the backstory. So there's always something cool happening in Mortal Kombat, even when it's not necessarily told in the correct way. So this is like one of the games where that's really shown because there's so many characters and stuff like that. And moving forward, it just only got better from there. And I don't know, is there a specific character whose story you really like in this game?
I think we both know who I was going to say. Someone just say I do like the Cyber Initiative one more.
Yeah,
I do love like no matter what it is, I'm gonna always be on Team Katana shit, no matter what. But I think if I'm not gonna be biased because it's my favorite character in general, and then I'm gonna have to say the Cyber Initiative.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you 100% there. Actually, I was gonna say pretty much the same thing because that's something that kind of gave us a different look to the regular ninjas. Because of course we've always seen Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Reptile.
Well, no, this is the first time we're seeing other Lin Kuei ninjas. We thought they're all blue.
Yeah, exactly, and they're of course cyborgs. So it was just a completely different look to what we were used to when it comes to the Lin Kuei.
Lin Kuei, ninjas, and everything in between.
Yeah, and it kind of opened up a new realm of possibilities for him. And of course, Cyber Smoke was a thing as well. So there have been also some really awesome cyborgs. And yeah, I think that was kind of what they were banking on. When they first made the original roster for MK3, was like, okay, fine, there's no Scorpion, and Sub-Zero doesn't look like a ninja because it doesn't have a mask on, but we have these ninja cyborgs. So I think that's what they were kind of banking on. Like, everybody's gonna really love this, and they're not gonna worry too much about those characters. But it ended up backfiring on them. But like, to be fair, Cyrax and Sector, they're still two characters that people love, like absolutely love.
And Smoke, and I think everyone's like human smoke. Hashtag human smoke. Hashtag cyber smoke. Just give somebody smoke.
Just either way at this point. Either way, man. Or maybe put them in to where in the game, whichever way you want to have them. But you want to have them, in the lore, like in the story, have them either a cyborg or human. But then have gear pieces where you can make them a cyborg if you want. Hell, they can do that with all the ninjas if they want to. Really, think about it. Like Cyber Sub-Zero was a thing anyway. So, and I think
we have Unburned Cabal now. I think they can do that if they want to.
Like, there could be an alternate timeline in which the Cyber Initiative transforms every single Lin Kuei. So they could have Cyber Sub-Zero, all of them, Frost, etc. You can do it with all of them. So there's endless possibilities really when it comes to that. So I'm definitely hoping to see, I'm not expecting to see all the characters have those kind of gear pieces, but definitely some of the ninjas should. Absolutely. At least the Lin Kuei ones, of course.
Yeah. No, but so I think a lot of people get side plots. You have Kano, Jax, and Sonya. They have their going on. Then you have Sheila, Mataro, and Kano. Jade, Reptile, Sindel, Katana, Shao Kahn. And then everyone else like Fires Art.
Yeah, then there's of course Scorpion, Sub-Zero, and Quan Chi, and Nuke Saibot, all that stuff.
But not in this game.
In
alone.
this game specifically, yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's plenty of awesome rivalries in this game, and I just think that from a story point of view, it was really well done. The characters were all, once they actually released like the ultimate version, the roster was really solid as well. The gameplay was really fun. It was quick. Like that's probably like the main thing we should say. Just to go back to the gameplay real fast is that MK1 was a very 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 slow game. MK2 was a bit quicker, like a bit more reactive, but it was still very very slow. But MK3, the change of pace from MK2 to MK3 is just it's really incredible. You know, it was of course a lot to do with the run button, but just in general the fighting, you know,
Just
the
having like
combos.
a combo system in general.
Yeah, it was a lot more fast paced and it was a lot more complete. It just felt like it was a lot deeper. So I think overall this game was a pretty big improvement from a gameplay perspective over, like definitely over MK1 and 2.
Yeah, I agree to that. And like I said, this is the like they always have subplots, but this is the first one like you have like multiple at the same game. And yeah, it's a quicker game, and this is probably I think that's why a lot of people do like MK3 as much as they do.
Yeah, it's the fact that the gameplay, you know, having gone from MK1 and MK2 to MK3, it's a completely different world. So it's like they went from a low budget game with a great story and great characters to a higher budget game with great stories, great characters, and great gameplay as well. So it was a great step in the right direction for the team. And I guess, you know, something that I always like to mention when it comes to these games is how good the music and the arenas were. I have to say, like the menu music for MK3, it's just creepy. Like it's really really really, like TMK puts it, sinister, and it's menacing. So you kind of get the feeling that you're playing something that's a lot darker, I would say, than the other two, because of course the other two are just they're tournaments, and of course you're fighting for the survival of Earthrealm. But this one is literally an invasion on the world that we are familiar with you know, with Earth. So it just felt dark. I really like the tune of the game. I like pretty much all the music throughout the game is really really good. And I think the biggest issue with the arcade collection on the 360 is that, and I think it's on PlayStation as well, but I'll just go off of the 360 version, which I'm familiar with, is the fact that unfortunately a lot of the music is incorrect. A lot of the sound effects are incorrect, and they did a pretty poor job of porting it from that point of view. But if you play the original, you just look on YouTube and look up the songs of the game, and just kind of the ambient music, it's just really really solid. Just throughout the entire game, it's pretty good.
Yeah. Another thing too is I can say that keep in mind in a way that all the tournaments are out in our world. Even the first one, it's like a mystical part of Earthrealm and our world. Still Earth, but a part that no one's seen before.
Yeah, it's an
And
island
our
between
world,
two realms, so it's
yeah.
not our world and it's not Earthrealm, so it's kind of a mix.
And then out the MK2 is all in our world, and then MK3 is literally all in Earthrealm, just stuff transferred over.
Yeah, which was
So
it just kind of made it feel like it was a bit darker because it was on a place that you recognize. And if I think Total MK, Tapmock, and a few other, you know, Mortal Kombat fan channels, they all got together and went to do a tour in Chicago, and they actually went to some of the landmarks that are relevant to the Mortal Kombat games. And if you compare, you know, modern day Chicago to a lot of the arenas in the game, they're literally just it's right there. You know what I mean? It's all right there. So it just kind of felt like it was a darker game to me, and between the tone and the colors and all that stuff, it just felt darker. And
yeah,
I guess we can kind of talk about the arenas as well, because you know MK1 had legendary arenas, MK2 did as well, and of course MK3 is no different. You know, not the subway, the rooftop, the streets, there was just so many great arenas. Like if you had to pick a personal favorite, what would you say yours is?
mm, I think the Sanctuary. This is nowhere but top pick for me. Sanctuary, Shao Kahn's Bridge, and the Sand Spit. Where when Cyrus is stuck in the sand.
Okay, so the Wasteland.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's Wasteland?
Yeah, it's not called the Wasteland. I could be wrong,
I
but
don't think so.
Okay, I'm probably wrong about that. But yeah, I think those are all definitely really good maps. Good arenas, excuse me. But I definitely think the rooftop is my personal favorite.
Oh, I love the rooftop as well. It's hard to choose with these two because they did such a good job for like a low budget, like we said.
Yeah. Oh, we forgot to mention our least favorite alities.
So I said mine. We both said animalities.
That's right, animalities were your least favorite. Yeah, yeah. I definitely think that animalities are, like I said, the idea of them isn't necessarily bad. It's not great. It's just kind of weird, but it kind of fits in some ways. You know, with Liu Kang being able to transform in one of his fatalities and stuff like that. So it kind of makes sense, but they're not great. But I'm not gonna. I'm not. They're not my least favorite. I think that my least favorite. Um, and this isn't necessarily like me saying that it's trash, because I do kind of want to see it come back. Is Mercy. You know, I've said that if it's back in the game, then I would be kind of happy because it's an alternative way to do stuff. But I think that animalities, if they're done correctly, they can be pretty cool looking in the modern days. But I think that Mercy is just kind of, it's just kind of weird. So it's probably my least favorite in terms of alities, and I think that Friendship just kind of barely beats it because Friendship was funny, like giving birthday cakes or Johnny Cage giving, no, not Johnny Cage, sorry, but you know there were there were interesting and really funny animations to it, whereas I think that Mercy was just kind of not that cool. It wasn't. It was all right, I guess. Like if you want to really really humiliate somebody, you can bring him back and then beat him up again. But I don't know. It wasn't that cool.
Well,
But
it
it
wasn't
wasn't
just
awful.
that. You had to do mercy to do animality, so it was like hand in hand.
Yeah, that is true. But I don't know. Like in terms of which one I prefer, I think that animalities are ones I would rather see come back instead of mercies.
Yeah. Well, to each
And
their own.
yeah, that's true. Everybody has their own opinion. That's the good thing about this, is that
Mine
we
is
can kind
right,
of.
yours is wrong.
Well, I mean,
Okay.
I disagree with that. I mean, like you're entitled to your opinion. It's just not my fault that yours is wrong. You know what I mean? But we can agree to disagree, I guess. And I don't know. Is like when it comes to MK3, is there anything else that you want to talk about? I'm pretty much my list is completely
Well,
done. So I think that's pretty much it. How about this?
well,
Well,
that's
from a
what.
fatality perspective, what's your favorite?
Hmm. I've actually looked. We have to wait till one day for that and actually go through each year and watch the fatalities.
Okay, just do it. Yeah, do an actual fatality one. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And we talk
that
about each game too.
yeah, that's definitely doable. Definitely doable. I've done one of those videos of my own, like my top favorite fatalities. I've never done one specifically for each game, so I think we can probably do that. Like talk about each game and go through it. So
We get
yeah,
3 for 2 for each character. You get to go for 2
yeah, yeah, yeah.
from each game.
Yeah, so that's something we'll definitely cover in a future
Yeah.
podcast. And I don't know. There was like I think the fatalities in this game, just to kind of cover them a little bit. It was very hit and miss. Like there were some that were really good, like Sub Zero when he lifts you above his head and then he rips you in half like that. I like that one a lot. But then there are other ones that are just an absolute atrocity, and it is what it is. And that's kind of common with Mortal Kombat. But I think this is like the first game where a lot of them were really
Just
really
didn't make
bad.
sense.
Yeah, like this is
I
it's,
mean, Jack screw
yeah,
left to a giant stump on somebody.
that's the one that came to mind, to where like that's probably arguably the stupidest one. Uh, and I think this is kind of like this is the first game where we kind of noticed that they were maybe having some shortages of iconic ideas. Like MK1 and 2, a lot of the fatalities you see them redone pretty often, but MK3, possibly even half of them are kind of trash. So it is what it is, I guess, right? It's just when you have that many characters and you were very limited back in the arcade days with what you can do in terms of technology and stuff like that. So I guess it's okay, but at the same time there were a lot of shit ones there.
Hmm.
But I guess that's all we got to really say about MK3. If there's anything that we missed or that you want to kind of talk about, just let us know in the comments, and we'll be sure to get to you guys. As always, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.
There, guys. We'll call it quits because Shotgun's a dick.